And when you finally find that one girl for you, now you can choose her from a place of abundance, saying, hey, I could date all these other women, but I choose this one. Tucker, you want to say hi to YouTube? They're watching you. You're famous. It's your time to shine. What's up, guys? I'm gonna be answering a comment that one of you guys asked on one of our recent videos, and it's a really good question that I know a lot of guys struggle with. I know I've struggled with similar situations in the past. So my man Natanov asked, he said, hey man, I really like your videos. I have a problem. There's a Swiss girl I like. She's also in a very Christian family, and I'm afraid that she might stop liking me because I smoke. Should I quit, or should I just let her see that I smoke? By the way, I want to tell you to be very proud of your work. You helped the guy from Croatia, Natanov. Thank you, Natanov, for your kind words, and I'm glad that you've gotten some value out of my videos, and especially my book before, and I'm really looking forward to answering this question, because here's the thing, man. Anytime I come up in a situation in my dating life, especially where I'm not quite sure what to do, I know I have one of two options, or maybe it's one of 5 options or 3 options. If I know that there are different actions I can take in this moment right now, and I'm not quite sure which direction to go, I'm gonna take the experimental approach to this situation. And because of this mentality, and I'm about to explain how I think of it, but because of this, I've been able to get really good at game really fast. When I was getting better at game and when I started learning about this stuff and going out and taking massive action on my own dating life, I was learning and getting results faster than most people do, simply because of this one mentality. So anytime I was unsure about what to do next, I said, okay, well, what are my options here? And this is like a quick thought in the moment. I asked myself, what are my options here? And then I say, okay, well, I have options A, B, and C, and I'm not quite sure which one to go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one at random, usually the one that I think, my hypothesis, is gonna work best for this situation and give me the result I want. I'm gonna pick one at random, and I'm literally just gonna say to myself, let's just see what happens. And because of this mentality, when I take option C and I'm not quite sure if it was gonna work, if it works, I win. But if it didn't work, which I have, like a 66% chance that it won't work, right? If it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna simply take it as a learning experience, reference experience. I talked about this 2 videos ago about why you guys need to be getting more reference experience in your dating life. This is exactly what reference experience is. When you take option C and it's the wrong option, it didn't give you the result that you wanted, now you can go, okay, that didn't work, so next time I have a 50-50 chance rather than a 60-30 chance of getting the right option. So next time I come up to a similar situation, I'm just gonna try option B. And if that doesn't work, now I definitely know what to do the 3rd time I see that situation. Do you see how this works? Now, oftentimes what you'll find is it's not as black and white for is this girl gonna be interested in you or not, simply because of this one thing. We build it up to be such a big deal in our own head because we are so in the moment, we're so in the weeds that it's hard for us to have some perspective on this situation. But what I want you to understand is that a girl being interested in you in conversation, creating that flirty tension, that conversational tension that makes her chase you and qualify herself to you, that is not just dependent on how do I want to say this? The on paper character traits that you have. Smoker, makes $100K a year, he lives in this city. Like, that's great. She might say, I want a guy who fits these criteria, but in the moment, whether you're 5'2" or 6'2", whether you're fucking 63 or 36, or whether you're a smoker or not a smoker, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. And this is what most guys are really unaware of, and what most people are too afraid to talk about, is that attraction is not a choice. All right, that's a David D'Angelo quote from way back in the day. He's an OG dating coach from like the early 2000s, and he said it best, man. Attraction is not a choice. Attraction happens on a chemical level when you're able to influence social dynamic situations to your liking, simply because you have that reference experience that we talked about earlier. So when you know what to do to get a girl to start qualifying herself to you in conversation, how to get a girl to actually like you, being a likable person, when you know what subtle shifts to make in conversation, then it's not as black and white as do you fit her criteria on paper or not, because women operate based on how they feel in the moment, not based off of logic and what they wrote in their diary when they were 10 years old, what they wanted in a fairy tale prince man, their Prince Charming, right? So if you want a girl to be interested in you, just know that it's not as simple as should I quit smoking or should I not quit smoking, and have some perspective on that situation. Now, here's what I mean by having perspective. Think about it like this. If this girl, all right, forgetting about the whole smoking question situation, if this girl never talks to you again after today, would you be okay? Would you be okay? If this girl never talked to you again after today, would you still be able to wake up tomorrow and eat food tomorrow and take a shit tomorrow? Would you still have a source of income tomorrow? Great, because if you can answer yes to at least one or all of those questions, especially if you're still gonna be alive without this girl, then you are good, my friend. This is called having perspective, because as a man who used to get chronically friend zoned back in the day, I'm 30, I just turned 30, but when I was 21, I was a virgin, and every girl I ever had a crush on, all the girls I ever went on dates with, they all seemed to friend zone me or ghost me altogether because I didn't know the fundamentals of creating attraction in conversation, right? And because of that, I was so just outcome dependent on this one girl. I wanted her to like me so bad that I was willing to sacrifice my own values, my own long-term values, for the short-term gain of getting her validation. So that brings me to my next point, is don't sacrifice your long-term values for short-term gains. Because let's say in a fairy tale world, you sacrificed what you really want to do, which is smoking weed or smoking cigarettes, whatever your question was about, and she doesn't like that, and you stop doing it. Well, let's say you start dating her for 10 years. Are you going to be happy just like having sacrificed your values? Because it's not just that one value. When she can sense that you're willing to change yourself just to appease her, she's going to latch onto that and she's going to use it against you over and over and over again. And it's not because women are malicious, it's because women test men. We talk about tests all the time. Women test men to see if you're the type of guy who she can lean upon in times where she's emotional, where she's uncertain. Women want a guy who's grounded in his own reality. Women want a guy who has values and he doesn't sacrifice them just for short-term gains. Women want a guy who has perspective and purpose and a vision for his own life that he's trying to create, because when a guy can do that, that's what a woman can really latch onto in the good type of way and want to be along for that ride. She wants to help you and she becomes your number one supporter for you creating that vision. But if you're willing to sacrifice your long-term values for short-term gains, women are going to constantly test you and she's going to latch onto that big gaping hole and she's going to think of you as less of a man than if you were unwilling to sacrifice your own values and you just said, hey, I am what I am. Take it or leave it. Because that type of man, and I'm not saying literally say that, I'm gonna come bring it back to the real world here in a second, but from a mindset point of view, when that's your mentality, you know who you are, you're comfortable with that, you're grounded in your own reality, you have a mission for your life, you have a vision for where you're going in life, and you have a vision for what you want in women, and when you talk to them, you're able to naturally qualify them based on the qualities that you're looking for, because you're the one who's not quite sold on her yet. This is called having a buyer's mentality. That's a topic for another video, and it's something that I definitely cover in this book. But so the first 2 points, have perspective. If you are going to be completely good with or without her, like when I say good, I mean you're going to be able to survive, reproduce, meet more women in the future, have a source of income, be able to feed yourself tomorrow, be able to take a dump with running water, then you are good, my friend, whether or not she approves of you. Last thing I want to give you here, man, is really to develop abundance. Because at the end of the day, my goal as a dating coach is very simple: to help guys like you create abundance in your dating life. That way you're not as outcome dependent on this one girl approving of you or not. And because when you're that outcome dependent, that's when you start making those mistakes like sacrificing your own values just to appease her. And when you have abundance, then it becomes very easy for you to take that experimental approach that we were talking about earlier in this video, because you're not going to be so emotionally attached to this working out if it doesn't work out, because you're trying option C and you're not sure if option C is the right option to take in this situation, right? When you take option C and you have that experimental approach, if you have 10 other options and you know there's 10 other women who would be happy to hang out with you and accept you for who you are, regardless of if you smoke or not, or if you're tall or not, or if you've got a lot of money or not, it doesn't really matter, because attraction is not a choice. It happens on a chemical level, all right? And so when you have true abundance, that's my only goal for you as a dating coach, because when you can create that type type of abundance in your life, not only are you less outcome dependent on the situation, but also now you're able to better qualify for the women that you actually want, for quality women who like you for you and also meet your standards. And when you finally find that one girl for you, now you can choose her from a place of abundance, saying, hey, I could date all these other women, but I choose this one. And that's really the strongest foundation that you can create any long-term relationship on, which is a whole topic for another video as well. So if you don't already have my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, this is literally everything I know, 107 different tactics to getting women interested in you and chasing you, and more importantly, attracted to you in conversation, even if you've never met her before. And the best part about this book, it's completely free. Just go to the website on this video. Now, before you go, I wanna show you guys, because if you've been watching my videos lately, then you know that we have been working on starting a podcast. It's called the Raw and Relentless Podcast. And I want to give you a quick look at the studio that we're building. It's about, I would say, 40% done, 40%. So it's gonna look completely different, but it looks so dope compared to what we had before. So check it out. So here's Chris in here working. Yes, sir. So we got these foam panels. We got the lights right here. Hey, Chris, would you mind flipping the switches? Not on these big lights. We're gonna actually get rid of these lights. If anybody wants these, I'll sell them to you, because I'm getting a whole new lighting system for this entire room. We are completely revamping this room. So move these lights out of the way, flip on the raw sign. So we have a raw sign. It's gonna look so dope on camera. I can't wait for you guys to see this when we start getting guests in this studio. Flip that shit on, my man. And then we got this other wall. We have a bunch of stuff coming in that we're gonna completely deck out this wall with. So it's not even you're not even gonna recognize this room. And so if you also remember, I had a shitty desk that wasn't even a desk before. And then we got this desk in and I built it. I documented me building it one day on my Instagram. If you're not already following me on Instagram, go and follow me on Instagram. But look, check that shit out. Look at this angle. Chris, you looking legit in the Raw and Relentless studio, my man.
Feel legit.
All right, guys. So look forward to the Raw and Relentless podcast. I'm going to put a link to the channel. We're actually doing the podcast on a whole brand new channel. I'm going to put the link to that in the comments below. If you're not already subscribed to the new channel, go and click that button, click the link, subscribe to the new channel. That way you can get notified when we drop the first episode. And also let me know in the comment section, what guests would you like us to interview on the new show, Raw and Relentless? And now the cool part about this podcast is it's not just gonna be dating advice specific, because my goal as a dating coach, yes, is to help you get abundance in your dating life, but I also talk about this all the time. I wanna help you become the most charismatic, confident, and courageous version of yourself. And whether it's in dating or personal and professional life, or even in your social circle, whatever it is for you, I wanna help you reach all your goals, right? Because I've been on this entrepreneurship grind, building up raw dating advice for the last 5-6 years, and that's a whole other side of my life that most people never get to see, which means we have a whole range of people that I can't wait to introduce you to on Raw and Relentless. So let me know, what would be a dream guest for you to have me interview on the Raw and Relentless podcast? I can't wait. Go subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Raw Dating Advice video. Peace out.